Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the fourth grade concept of classifying two-dimensional shapes. This is standard 4.6D in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 28 of the 2024 released STAAR test. This is a new item type called multiple select, and if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we need to find two correct answers. Just to show you how this works, if I select the first two, it is impossible to select a third, so you cannot select three answers. And if I only select one, it is going to give me a warning and say you have not answered everything. So let's take a look at this problem. A group of figures is shown, which figures appear to have at least one pair of perpendicular sides. All right, so this is a big word right here. And if we look on our reference chart, we are not going to find any definitions. So we need to know perpendicular. It's kind of related to parallel. We typically learn those two words together. So let's look at this word perpendicular. It's when two lines or two sides, but we'll say two lines, meet at a 90-degree angle. All right, so this meet can also be exchanged with the word intersect. And what is a 90-degree angle? Well, think of it as a square corner. Corners have different angles, but when you have one that is horizontal, one that is vertical, that is a 90-degree angle, which means these two lines are perpendicular because they meet at a 90-degree angle. Now, it could work like that even if the figure itself is rotated. Typically, what you'll see is you'll see a little square kind of given to you like that. So we need to have at least one pair of perpendicular sides. Okay, so let's count the perpendicular sides for these figures. All right, so what do we have for figure R? This is actually a trapezoid, and it's called a right trapezoid because hopefully you see we've got some right angles. I've got a right angle right there, which means these two are perpendicular sides. And then I've got a right angle right here, which means these two are perpendicular sides. So that's got two. So we're good with figure R. Figure S, right, that is a hexagon, kind of stretched out. It's not a regular hexagon. And it doesn't have any perpendicular sides. Those angles are all obtuse. So no for this. Figure T, well, it's an arrow, but how many sides does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so it's a seven-sided shape. It's a heptagon. We don't learn that very often. Hepta is our prefix for 7. Does it have any right angles? Well, take a look at right here. I've got one right there, which means these two sides are perpendicular. And then I've got another right angle right there, which means these two sides are perpendicular. So I've got two right there. So I'm good with figure T. I'm good with figure R. So what do we have for figure U? Figure U is a parallelogram, right? That's got two sets of parallel sides, right? This side right here, and then the top and the bottom. But it has obtuse angles, it has right angles. It does not have any perpendicular sides. There are no right angles. So we're not going to work here. And then finally, let's look at our last shape. This is what most of us think of when we think of a trapezoid. Now, figure V and figure R are both trapezoids. Trapezoid just has one set of parallel lines. So trapezoid has a set of parallel lines there. This one over here has a set of parallel lines here. It doesn't matter that the other sides are either straight or slanted. So they're both trapezoids, but I don't see any right angles, which means there are no perpendicular lines. So that's not going to work. We're down to figure R and figure T, so let's select both of those. Figure R, figure T. This is a 2-point problem, and this is how you get full credit.